Stop Complaining and Start Living, a Stoic Guide. Everywhere you go, you hear it. Complaints. The weather is too hot, the boss is too demanding, the traffic is too heavy, life is too unfair. But here's the truth. Complaining never solved a problem. It never made a bad day better. It never moved a single obstacle out of your path. And yet, so many of us spend our lives complaining instead of living. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers of resilience, saw complaining as one of the greatest wastes of life. Why? Because while you're complaining about how things should be, you're missing the chance to deal with life as it is. Today, let's explore the Stoic way to stop complaining and finally start living. Why we complain? We complain because it feels easy. It's easier to point a finger at the world than to take responsibility for ourselves. It's easier to curse the storm than to learn how to sail in it. It's easier to blame life for being unfair than to build the strength to endure it. But here's the harsh truth. Complaining is nothing more than resistance to reality. And as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you complain, you waste energy on what you cannot control. When you live, you use that same energy to take action, adapt, and grow. The Stoic view on complaining. The Stoics lived in a world filled with wars, betrayals, plagues, and hardship. Yet their writings rarely complained. Instead, they focused on three things: accepting what they could not change, acting where they could make a difference, and finding peace in the present moment. Seneca once wrote, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." Complaining makes you suffer twice, once from the challenge itself, and again from the bitterness of your own thoughts. The Stoic path is clear. Stop amplifying your pain through complaints. Start facing life with clarity and courage. Why complaining destroys us. So, why is complaining so dangerous? 1. It steals your time. Every moment spent complaining is a moment not spent solving, growing, or enjoying life. 2. It weakens your character. Complaining is easy. Endurance is hard. Every complaint is practice in weakness, while every acceptance is practice in strength. 3. It breeds negativity. The more you complain, the more your mind searches for reasons to be unhappy. It becomes a habit, a lens that colors everything dark. 4. It pushes others away. People are drawn to strength, not bitterness. A complaining spirit drains relationships, while a resilient spirit inspires them. The power of shifting focus. The Stoics remind us that the universe doesn't bend to our will. Life is not built to match your preferences, but your mind, your perspective, that is always within your power. Complaining says, the world must change for me. Living says, I will change myself for the world. And that shift is where true freedom begins. Epictetus and endurance. Epictetus was born a slave. He lived with daily humiliation under the control of others. At one point, his master twisted his leg so badly it broke. Did he complain? No. He said calmly, "You are breaking my leg." And when it was broken, he simply said, "Did I not tell you it would break?" Later, Epictetus became one of the greatest philosophers of history, not because life spared him hardship, but because he refused to waste his life complaining about it. If a slave could rise above complaints, what excuse do we have? How to stop complaining. Stoic practices to help you break free from the trap of complaining. 1. The dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. Complaining does neither. 2. Practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on what's right. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Make gratitude a daily habit, and complaints lose their grip. 3. Voluntary hardship. Choose discomfort sometimes. Sleep on the floor, skip a meal, walk in the rain. When you practice hardship, life's challenges don't feel like punishment, they feel like training. 4. Turn complaints into action. Next time you feel like complaining, ask, what's one small step I can take instead? Even the tiniest action is better than the loudest complaint. 5. Journal your thoughts. The Stoics wrote daily. They poured frustrations onto the page, then turned them into wisdom. Instead of complaining out loud, put it on paper. From there, turn it into wisdom. Complaining versus living. Imagine two men facing the same storm. The first man curses the rain, shivers in anger, and cries out, "Why me?" The second man tightens his cloak, adjusts his path, and keeps walking. The storm doesn't care, but the second man reaches his destination. Life doesn't care about our complaints, but it rewards those who live. Modern life and complaints. Look at our world today. We complain about slow Wi-Fi. We complain about waiting in line. We complain about minor inconveniences that kings and emperors of the past would have considered luxuries. Marcus Aurelius led armies, ruled Rome, and faced plagues that wiped out thousands. Yet in his meditations, he did not complain. He reflected, accepted, and acted with wisdom. If he could live without complaint, so can we. The cost of complaining. Think about it this way. Complaining is like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Every word of bitterness adds another stone. The longer you carry it, the heavier your life becomes. But the moment you let go, the moment you stop complaining, you walk lighter, freer, stronger. The joy of living. When you stop complaining, you start noticing life. The beauty of a sunrise, the laughter of a child, the chance to breathe, to walk, to love, to learn. You stop seeing life as an enemy and start seeing it as a gift. Not perfect, not always easy, but precious. And that is where real living begins. Complaining is the language of the powerless. Living is the action of the wise. The Stoics remind us, you cannot control the winds, but you can adjust your sails. You cannot stop the rain, but you can choose how to walk through it. You cannot silence every hardship, but you can silence your complaints. So the next time life feels unfair, ask yourself, will I waste this moment complaining, or will I use this moment to live? Because your life is too short, too precious, too powerful to waste on complaints. Stop complaining. Start living. Choose action over bitterness. Choose strength over weakness. Choose life over words. As the Stoics teach us, happiness is not found in a perfect world, but in a strong spirit.
If this Stoic guide spoke to you, take a moment right now. Pause, breathe, and let go of one complaint. And if you want more Stoic wisdom to help you live with clarity, courage, and peace, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel. Because together, we're not just surviving, we're learning to live.